What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, bringing you incredible guests from all over the world. So sit back, relax, and tune in. My next guest has 30 plus years in sales and marketing. He is an entrepreneur and also the founder of Millionaires by George. Please welcome George Ishee. George, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm excited because we've already had such a great conversation. And I love the premise of what you have created, what you founded, Millionaires by George. And I love the question that you asked to start off with is, have you ever picked up a penny and turned it into, if you turn it 28 times, you could turn it into $1 million. So can you share with us maybe a little bit of like your background and what led you to creating Millionaires by George?
Great. Thanks for that, because that's where it all started. I've been in sales and marketing all my life, and raised sales teams and made them successful. But I always wondered, why so many people struggled with money.
Yeah.
And because I was selling, I always had to understand the mentality of why people would buy and why some wouldn't. And then this question popped up to me. It said, well, was there a shortage of money in the world?
Yeah.
And of course not. There's plenty of money, but I always wanted to know why they took so many people struggled, but then so many made it so easy.
Yeah.
And I started, just digging and researching and took all the guys' courses from Tony Robbins to Harv Eckerd and Tom Hopkins and Zig Ziglar and Bob Proctor. And I've met most of them, but they all made their living in telling people that they were 6 inches away from wealth, and that was from here to here. It's all what was in their mind, and it all started. And so I started to research what were holding us back, and I really wanted to dig that out. So for me, it was to understand how to make buyers buy quicker was my initial goal. But then it evolved into this mission to find out, and what I found was pretty astonishing and simple. That as little teeny babies, we had no beliefs. I mean, we weren't born with them. Some of it was passed on with epigenetics and all that, but we had to form these beliefs, and we started hearing things, and maybe your audience can reference this, like things like they heard at a young age, well, we can't afford that, or rich people are greedy, or, that costs too much, we'll get it later. And all that created scripts. And then what I found out was once that data is exposed enough times in your brain, it forms a belief, and that will be your belief about money and other things, relationships and everything for life, unless you do one thing. And that's the only way to fix it, is to change the belief. You just got to change the data. And unfortunately, that's locked in your subconscious, so nobody can really get to it. So I had to find a way to do that. So that's when I went on my mission to develop Millionaires by George. And it's got that built into it,
So how to reprogram yourself.
I can tell you very quickly how it works, because everything I'm doing is all common sense if you look at it. But if you take a penny and double it to 2 cents, your brain is there to protect you. But when it says, "Oh, I'm going to 2 cents," it goes, "Don't worry about it. Go ahead. I don't pay attention." And 2 to 4 and 4 to 8, it keeps going. Well, that's not a big deal. It's not going to harm you.
Right.
But by the time you get to step 10, in about 30 days, we got a little challenge in the system to keep you going with accountability, with some gamifications and yayas and all that. But when you do that and double a penny 10 times in 30 days, it only equals $5.12. Now that seems pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
But when you do that, at that point, your brain will never, ever question, can I double anymore? Because it just did it 10 times in a row. It's got all the proof that the subconscious saw that ignored. So now it will never question, can I double? Now it shifts to the other side of your brain, to the creative side, and throws the question up, well, how do you do it? And then if you don't know how, then you stop. But now Millionaires by George hands you the how. And that's what's really cool about it.
So it's almost like a physical, logical way to like, because I've done some sessions with previous guests where they help you reprogram your ancestral like programming, because they consider that like it's just a different terminology. Ancestral programming, like your belief system is like what you were raised with. But this is a different way to approach it where you almost like physically. So do you suggest people that do that take the penny and they put it like in a jar? So like over the course of 30 days, they keep adding pennies to that jar. Is that a way that, is that what you mean?
See the penny, we say you can take this program and become wealthy in, make $1.3 million in change in 2 to 4 years part-time, and you can't use your own money. And the reason why is that penny you find on the ground is not even your own money, right?
Yeah.
An investor threw that down and said, here's your investment. They just didn't tell you how to do it. That was the piece that was missing.
Right.
And so that's money you got set on the side. It doesn't affect your income.
Okay.
So it could be in a jar, but you're taking that penny and growing that penny on the side. Even when it goes from a penny to 10,000 to 40,000, you're using that and you're learning capitalism to buy or sell something at a lower rate and then selling it for more. And once you understand what the market will pay for something, then somebody will always sell you for something less than market value. Say, for example, if you went to a yard sale this weekend, let me test your skills, see if you're qualified. Okay. Could you go to a yard sale this weekend and you were at step 10, so you had $5.12, and you found something you knew you could sell for 10?
Sure. Yeah.
And you offered to them and they said, sure, maybe you had to offer on 3 different items, but then you bought it for $5 and you sold it for 10 and you entered it in. And that's all the skill is. And you're learning what the market will pay. And anybody can do it if they'll research it. But it's sure a whole lot easier when you're seeing 5 or 10 or 100 other people ahead of you that all did it in different ways. And you can just pick one you like, take it, copy it, and then go to the next step. And what you're doing in this community of people is you're helping everybody behind you, and everybody ahead of you is helping you one step at a time. And so it's kind of like if I asked you, if I gave you a 28-question quiz, but I gave you the answer to each question before you had to answer, could you pass?
Well, yeah, you better hope so. If you give me the answer,
And that's the whole common sense approach that we put together. And it's kind of my give back to society to have this available because, we made it so affordable. It's ridiculous. I compare it to an MBA.
Yeah.
When all those people that work their butts off to get an MBA, but what's required with an MBA? You gotta spend about 20 to 30 hours a week for 2 years. You go into debt about, $50,000 to $100,000.
Yeah.
And then when you get out, all you have is a piece of paper that says, good luck, go make your first penny.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Now, to theirs, they've got enough history behind it that people can make more, but to pay back that $100,000 takes them 5 or 10 years just to pay back or never. Right. So what we're doing, we're saying somebody could do this part-time in 2, 3, or 4 years, depending on how slow or fast you want to go. And when you get out, not only do you have the money in the bank, but you have the knowledge to do it over and over and over again, giving you that financial freedom, that feeling, and the actual results that we're hoping people go for.
Hello, my faithful friends. This episode is brought to you by Brian Tracy. That's right. New York Times bestselling author, internationally renowned success expert, thought leader, and one of the best professional speakers today. We are offering you a 6-figure speaker free ebook. This course is designed for those who want to learn, develop, or improve the skill set required to speak confidently and effectively in front of an audience. So if you are one of these people, don't hesitate on this free offer and go click the link in bio. I love what you've come up with. It's so unique and so different, something that I've never heard of from anybody before. So do you think that your history and experience in sales and marketing helped you come up with this? Or was it? Yeah,
absolutely. Because I was selling a product and had to determine what the market would pay for it. So I was doing the same thing, just like the yard sale example. Everybody has the skill. All the salespeople in the world are selling something, and everything's selling. And by the way, if you're talking to somebody, you're selling. You have the skill because you're selling your idea, your comments, or your feedback, or whatever. So all we're doing is taking that natural God-given skill and now applying it to your finances to tie your brain and your actions into just a simple little process that you can do. And what I love, you can do it with your children.
Yeah.
Imagine if they start to get at 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, at that age, they all want to run off. But if you're doing this together with them, you're now teaching them the skills. So when they become adults, they can now, live financially. And that's the goal of every parent. So, I mean, to me, there's some really deep things that make it passionate for me to help people with this.
So how long did it take you to put this together and roll it out?
Oh, it's been years.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of things that held it back, because I'm like the pioneer out there with this idea, and everybody, they say, "Are you millionaire yet? You millionaire yet?" I go, "Not yet." And they go, "Well, as soon as you are, I'm in."
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Well, why don't you go with me?" And
exactly.
So, I'm going through the process myself, and it took years, but I finally decided that I needed to. I'm no longer with the company I was with, so I'm now have time and commitment to drive this and really grow it and help people.
I love that. And so, if somebody was to stick to the program, how long do you think what's the quickest path, or how long is the quickest path to become a millionaire?
Well, we break it up, and on my website, I've got a 2-year example.
Okay.
And so, we break it into 3 chunks. Okay. Right. And here's the real meat of it. We want people to engage and take action and double a penny 10 times in 30 days to get to $5.12. So you're a third way through the program, and that's just re-scripting your brain.
Right.
Then when you're going from step 11 to 20, you're going from $5 to $5,200 and change.
Okay.
And that's where you're doing a lot of transactions of buying and selling something, understanding what the market will pay for something.
Sure.
And then buying it for less and selling it for more. And there's a ton of easy ways to do that, especially when you see what other people did, and you can comment back to them if they want to reply.
Yeah.
But you'll probably buy and sell, in those 10 steps, maybe 30, 40, 50 things. And then the last 8 steps, you go from 5,000 to 1.3 million, because now you've trained your brain. Because it's 5,000, 10, 20, 40, 80, 160, 320, 640, and a 1,000,003.
Yeah.
And what's great about the idea is you don't have to double. Let's say you got, Deanna, got to $40,000. Okay. Now you have to go to 80, right? Yeah. And a lot of people struggle with that concept. But then I say, no, that's just a mental virus you got to push to the side.
So I have a question. Can you take that 40,000 and invest it into something that would create 80,000?
You could, or you could do it into, I don't know, cars. You could do it in real estate. You could do it in businesses. You can do it in music, art, whatever you want, jewelry. And there's just millions of ways people do it. But what people forget is you might buy 4 condos. Yeah. Buy them, fix them up, and flip them. And then when you get to 80, then you log in and say, well, it took me 4 houses, and here's, I did each one. Enter. Okay.
And so that's what the community that you're creating is helping others, that you're teaching others by everyone's experiences then.
So the example would be, I went in and said, well, I bought 4 condos, and here's what I did. I did one where I didn't have time, but I had 40,000. So I bought 4 townhouses, put 10,000 down. Okay. Yeah. Or I bought 2 townhouses, put 10,000 down to buy it. And then I went to contractor and said, I've got 10,000 to renovate it.
Yeah.
And I could go online and say, any contractors want this business? And they go renovate, and I turn around and flip them. Right. And then I buy 2 more, and then I did 80,000. Done.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's a great idea.
It's common sense what people are doing every day.
Right. Yeah.
But the challenge is people, Deanna, they have to make a decision, and everything in our life that anybody's ever succeeded at was based on a decision that happened here first. And once you decide, then your brain figures out how to do it. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So we want people to get in early and go easy with, and make the challenge, double a penny 10 times in 30 days. And if you can do that, that you have the skill and the desire to do it. If you get in and don't do it, then by your own results. So we want to help those people that truly want to make a decision and change their life.
So people that start, they have to find that many pennies on the ground.
No, they find one penny.
Find one penny on the ground, but then how do you find? So then you have to not use your own money from your job, but you have to create it, right?
Yeah, like I laughed one time. I had this friend I was in a restaurant with, was telling about it, and she was like, "Well, how do you double it to 2 cents?" And I go, a stranger walked by. I said, "Sir, can I ask you a question? I'm playing a little game where I found a penny and trying to double it to 2 cents. Would you give me 2 cents for a penny?" The guy goes, it took me 2 people to ask, and the second guy goes, "Sure." And she looked at it and go, "I made it happen." I said, and up to about 16 cents, 32 cents, you can do that. But then you got to start being a little creative where people they need a pen and they'll sell a pen to somebody or some need. You have to understand what the problem is and then what they would pay for it. And you start to get creative. And then when you train that brain to start getting creative about problems and understanding, because everybody's got problems.
Yeah, that's good.
If you start to raise your awareness and pay attention to their problem, which everybody likes to fix anyway, right? They like to help. So now this is a natural thing where you can do that and help people and still make it grow.
I love it. That's awesome. What a great example. Where can people find this incredible community process that you have created?
Thank you for asking. It's millionairesbygeorge.com. And that's what my whole thing, Millionaires by George. I'm George, so I want to build millionaires. So that's where the name came from. And it's on there, and it's very simple. And on there, we explain it all in great detail in a couple pages. And we have Kyle McDonald's story on the second page on the about. And we also have a button up at the top where they can sign up. And we tell them exactly what it costs. It's a very expensive program at $25 a month.
Oh, wow.
A monthly program. So it's not about the money. And frankly, if there's people that can't afford it but want to make the decision, we will give them, grandfather them tuition to get into it. It's not about the money. It's about them making a decision. And then we also have, they can sign into one of our webinars to learn more, or they can send us, we have a address at support@millionairesbygeorge.com, and they can ask us personal questions, and either one of my team or I will respond back and try to help them understand it. But it's a simple process. And I was just stunned that nobody ever kind of got a community back together for people helping people.
What would somebody get for that $25 a month?
They get access to all the site, and in the back end, they get to see there's 2 sections they go in the back end. One where they can track their success and they can put it in, and then they go over another section and they can see all the answers from everybody else one step ahead of them, how they accomplished what they're trying to do. And then they can even start a dialogue with them if the other person, wants to give them help, when most people, do. So it's a self-help, and it's like hiring yourself to change your life.
Sure. So almost like a self-help
in life, Yeah,
almost like a a self-help roadmap, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a roadmap. It's like going down a set of stairs. If you're going down 28 steps and you try to go from step 1 and jump to 28, you're going to fall and fail. Well, if you go one step at a time and you have a railing to hold on to, and somebody's telling you what to do and holding the flashlight for you, you're going to succeed if you go down the stairs.
For sure.
And I say you have to take action, and they misspelled action wrong in the dictionary. Makes me all upset. They spell it ACTION, right?
Yeah.
But if you just take that I and pick it up and move it in the front, put a space in front of it, it now says, I act on my life. Yeah.
Ooh, that's good. I love it.
I want people to take action with something that is easy to do, and they can, it's everybody has the skill. So it's not like you have to have an MBA skill or you have to go to college and spend all that money, whatever. Anybody can do it with a decision. I don't care what level they're at, and we can always help them, if they need it.
Love it. You guys, I'm going to put the link to Millionaires by George in the show notes. So if you are interested in following his roadmap to help you succeed to become a millionaire, go click that link, sign up for his monthly program, and become a millionaire. I can't wait to hear how you do.
One cool extra thing is if you sign up and you want to play with your kids with it, they're all included.
Oh,
You can do it
cool.
with your kids for that same price, or you get a team of people and you get a team together and you meet every Friday,
Yeah.
either for dinner or drinks, whatever. And you talk about and you encourage everybody and you create your own little community. And then we
Yeah.
can take this thing and grow it as we grow longer term into pods where we can take 401k money,
Yeah.
have them move to self-directed IRA, and then they can invest it. And we can use that to hire disadvantaged people and teach them the skill while doubling your money for you in your
Wow.
401k. And then it goes back in your 401k.
Awesome. Wow.
Pretty
I love
cool.
it. Very cool. Yes, I think you are onto something incredible here. Very cutting edge and a way to really help people step into financial freedom. So, George, this is the part of the show where I like to ask for last words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to leave with us today?
You need to sign up. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's one. So we'll give you another one.
No, it's my only hope is that people take time and just go look at the website and get involved. If you don't have all the money in your life and you don't want to wait till retirement, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's putting money in 401ks to retire, but why not shorten that time frame and make enough money? I mean, you could still continue your job if you want,
Yeah.
but to create financial freedom for you, from 2, 3, 4 years from now, just imagine your age, what it is now, and add 4 years or less time it took you to get through high school, that you could, become financially in a better position now. And I'll end with a disclaimer that we don't guarantee anybody will even find a penny laying on the ground, or you'll make a penny to 2 cents. So
Yeah.
that's not it. It's a process that you just got to believe in. And if you're somebody that wants to see if you can change your life, then this is a nice option.
I love it. Well, George, thank you so much for sharing with us your program, your roadmap for people to get them to success. Can't wait to hear how it plays out and hear some success stories. So we're looking forward to having you back and letting us know who succeeded on their journey.
Thanks for having me. It was really fun.
You're welcome. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, don't forget to follow, subscribe, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.